fly a million miles away somewhere, just me and you. Can we go MIA somewhere far from this bullshit? Let's fly a million miles away somewhere, just me and you. I don't care where we go, as long as so far, so far, so far from here. It's about time I took a little trip, yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy back with another episode of Get It Together with Big Maul, starring me, your host, Big Maul, Molly B, Maul. Jay, whatever it is that you call me, we back. Man, oh man, oh man, I know that it's a late episode. I'm usually trying to, get you guys week started off, jumped off right, with a fresh episode and whatnot. But man, this is seems like I've been busy and not having enough time, and before I look up, it's like time to wind down and get myself ready for the next day. It's been just so much going on. It's my daughter's birthday. She's 10 now. Just trying to spend time with her and personal things I got going on. We're not gonna get into that, but just so much going on. But I'm good. I'm well. I'm rested. I hope you guys are. And I remember on the last episode where I talked about having self-control and not letting people dictate what you say in the midst of a argument or an altercation or whatever the case is. If you feel like you have to respond with grace, or you can just choose not to respond at all. So and I said that try that if you have an encounter this week. And it's crazy because I had an encounter and I chose to respond with grace. So crazy how that works. God was like, okay, you up here talking about emotional intelligence and being unbothered and controlling, not letting people control your energy. We gonna see. So but hopefully God just okay, you passed with flying colors, you know what I'm saying? So definitely had a couple of moments actually, where it was tested. Okay, and I feel like deep down in my spirit, well, not even deep down, even on the surface, I feel like I did good. I feel like I did well. I'm proud of the way I reacted to things that were thrown my way to get me off my energy. So it's all good though. We here, and I hope if you guys had a moment in your lives last week, hopefully you aced the test. Okay, hopefully you aced the test. So I'm treating this episode like a midweek check-in and an episode as well, like a regular episode as well. So just getting into it, I have been doing Bible study lately, and it's just something I decided to do with at first I was doing it by myself, just me. And then I was like, you know what? My daughter she's getting into the word, she's getting to know God on a personal level, and she's been going to church with me and she's been praying with me and all of the things. So I was like, we about to do this together. So me and her started doing it together. And then, someone near and dear to my heart, she knows who she is. I don't even know why I'm saying that. She knows who she is. Michaela, if you are listening, shouts out to you for coming through and worshiping with us. Me and my daughter have been going to her church as well. And she has definitely been a light in my life. And I love her so, so much. And she joined me and my daughter last week. So, and it's just been beautiful, and also being trusted, even with my daughter, being trusted to deliver a message and read and try to break down what was read, and also try to, in the same sense, break it down to where a child could understand by providing examples. And then with another adult trusting me as well in that same way, it's like man, it makes you feel good, and it makes you feel like God is definitely working in you and working in your life if someone is comfortable enough. again, even a child being comfortable enough to sit with you and do that. It's like, okay, I know I'm her father, but I'm not a I'm not a preacher. I'm not a reverend. I'm not that. So I'm not in the suit and tie in a pulpit leading a congregation, a church full of people. I'm just me. But to be trusted feels absolutely incredible. So shouts out to them for trusting me with leading them in the word. And that's just kind of like what I just wanted to get into for real. It's just the fact that um it's the way that God is moving in my life, and me just responding to that and being obedient. It used to be very, very hard to hear God's voice. It used to be, because I don't think I used to sit still like I was supposed to. And people, whether it would be people that I know, or someone in church, or a stranger, or someone on like a documentary or something, where people say, "Oh, I heard God's voice and He told me to do X, Y, and Z," and I heard God told me to move. God told me to stay put. And I used to be like, well, why don't I hear God's voice? Why don't I hear Him? I need to be able to hear His voice. I want to be able to. I want Him to be able to communicate with me and talk to me, but I, I, I don't hear Him. And I had to figure out, like, man, you gotta shut everything down. Turn that TV off, turn the music off, put your phone on D&D, and you gotta just sit. You gotta sit and pray, and even open up that Bible, and really be intentional on your communication with God. And then He will start communicating with you through different things, whether it be through a scripture. It could be a song and the lyrics are hitting and it's relating to a situation that you're currently going through, or something that you were kind of questioning. It can be through a conversation you have with someone, whether it's someone you know or a stranger. It can be at church, wherever. You know what I'm saying? And He'll communicate with you. He'll give you. It could be a dream. My dreams, I always have dreams where God is communicating with me and telling me something that I need to know. Always, always, always. My spirit of discernment is very strong. And Aaliyah's discernment, my daughter, is very strong. Very, 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 very strong. She just knows. She just knows. There are so many personal conversations that me and her have on different topics where she just feels it and she knows it. And it's so, so amazing to talk with her, because sometimes I feel like when we have certain conversations, it's like I'm talking to a full grown adult my age. You know what I'm saying? And for her to be 10 years old now, it's like, this is dope. This is very, very dope. And I pat myself on the back just a little bit for getting her in the space where, for one, she can just feel comfortable talking to me, and for two, that she's going to pray. She's going to read the Bible. She's going to want to learn more about God, and she wants to feel connected to Him and feel closer to Him. So I'm just glad that God is working through me, and it's reaching her and she's responding. That's the beauty of it. She is responding to it and she's eager. She's eager. She loves Bible study. She loves going to church. She loves paying attention and trying to understand what the pastor is saying. And we went to Sunday school this past Sunday and everything, man. So it's beautiful. My mom and grandma had me in the church at a young age, way younger than her. And, as a kid, as a small child, we don't know what's going on really. We may clap because everyone else is clapping in the congregation, and we may learn a song. We may start singing a song, but when it's time to preach, we're not paying attention to that. We fall asleep and we ready to go. We getting bored. But the older I got, the more I understood it. And I've talked about this before on here, where by the time I became a teenager, I started looking around me and I'm like, man, none of my friends really go to church. They ready on a Sunday, they're ready for me to get out of church so we can go and play ball. They're ready for me to hit them up and say, all right, I'm out of church. What time we meet up to go play basketball? Like, that's what they were waiting on. And I never understood, like, man, why are they not in church? I'm in church. Why shouldn't everybody I know my age and everything be in church? Shouldn't it be like that? Then, getting older, you realize like not everyone had that same journey as you. Not everyone was raised like you. The households were different. Their beliefs may have been different, and all of that. So like I'm thankful that I was introduced to God at a young age, even if I didn't quite know what was going on at that point. But I grew into that, and it was still, even though it was instilled in me at that young age. So I I knew to love. I knew God was love. I knew God provided. I knew that I could pray. I knew how to pray. So I continued to grow with God. And I feel like especially especially these days with everything going on, it is important that we develop a relationship with him. Definitely important that if you have a kid or multiple kids, hey, if they live with you or they don't live with you, or if it's, a situation where, you kids living with you a certain time and then they going back to the mom, whatever. Like, listen, get your kids connected to God. Get them in church. Get them off of their tablets and their cell phones and off of the TVs and the video games. Get them in church. Get them in the Bible. Get them in prayer. Get them to develop a relationship with God, so they know that when times are rough, when they're in school and they're faced with a situation and they don't know what to do, they know to pray. It could be a test that they're scared of. It could be a bully. It could even be a teacher that they're encountering. It can be anything that happens at school, or just whenever they're not around you. They can be with a friend at a friend's house or whatever. That they know that they can drop in prayer at any given moment, no matter what. God is already listening. He's ready, and you can go to him. And knowing that once you finish, you're gonna feel the calmness and anxiety, and you're gonna have that reassurance that okay, everything's okay. I may not even see the end result on how it's gonna be okay, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's our time now. I remember sitting in the classroom when teachers would say, you guys are the future. You guys are going to be the future leaders of America, and you're going to have generations under you that's going to be looking to you for guidance and looking to you for answers when they have questions. And because you guys are going to be, still in that age bracket to where, you know, you're not you're not that old, you're not really old, you're not really that young. You're kind of in the middle. You're in that prime season, or entering that prime years of your life, and where you have went through a lot, where you went through enough to know better, and you need to start passing down that knowledge to the younger generation, especially if you got kids. And I know for a fact I am in that period of my life where I'm 32 going on 33 in the next, couple of months. And I know that I'm in that stage of my life where I need to not only lead my child in the right direction, but there are still that generation of teenagers and 20-year olds, especially those early 20s, where they need some guidance. They need that motivation. They need to be listened to before they are immediately judged because of the way that they may be dressed, or the way that their hair is, or how loud they are being. I'm at that point where in my life where okay, I remember how it was when I was in my early 20s, still very young, still very inexperienced in so many avenues in life. And I thank God I didn't go down a wrong path of getting in trouble with the law and going to jail and having to learn a lot of the lessons the hard way in that aspect. But I still learned lessons the hard way, whether it was finances and it was like heartbreak and all of that stuff. It's like, and even looking back, like it's like, okay, I could have definitely not dealt with this person. I could have definitely took this opportunity. I could have definitely stayed away from, that crowd, et cetera, et cetera. I could have seen those signs, and I saw the signs. I should have took heed to those signs. There's so many different examples and so many different experiences that I went through that I want to help the generation under me. Uh, and even as far as kids, my daughter's age, like I want to tell them, like, hey, go for it, go for anything you want to go, but get connected to God. That will be my main teaching point. Get connected to God. Do you know who God is? Do you know that He has all power in His hands? Do you know the only way that you can even communicate with Him is through His Son, Jesus Christ? Do you know who Jesus is? Like, man, there is so much that I'm not going to say I want to. There's so much that I'm going to teach the younger generation under me. And if there's someone listening to this right now that is in their early 20s, man, woman, um, whatever race, contact me, hit me up. If you're going through something right now, if you're eager to take opportunity, or if you're second guessing a relationship, or trying to figure out like why your mom was never in your life, or why your dad wasn't in your life, or in and out of your life, why doesn't it seem like your family accepts you? You don't know who you are. You're struggling to find your own identity. You feel like you don't belong in this friend group. You feel like you're like the one that's either the black sheep of the family, or the one that's just the oddball in your circle. Like whatever, whatever. Hit me up. Hit me up if you feel like, if you're on my age, and you have a child, feel like your child's going through down the wrong path, or even if you're older than me and have a child my age, and you want me to talk to them because you feel like they're just going down the wrong path, they need some inspiration, they need some talking to, and you feel like you're all talked out, there's nothing else you can say, there's nothing else that you can do, send them my way, inbox me. You know where to find me on every social media platform at Jamal Butler, JEMAHLBUTLER. Hit me up. You can even hit me up on here. And then, you can give me your number or whatever it is, and we can have a private conversation. But like, it's definitely time to get serious about prayer, and it's time to get serious about having a personal relationship with God, because we are in troubling times. We need to know how to survive. We need to know that the source of survival and reassurance and love and abundance is not the news. It's not the president. It's not your favorite musical artist. It's not your favorite actor. It's not your favorite athlete. It's not even your family member. It's God. Okay? He's the only one that's gonna save you. The saying about ain't nobody coming to save you. Ain't nobody coming to save. God is the only one. God's the only one that can save you. But you gotta know how to communicate. You gotta know who to go through. And I definitely want to be that person that anybody can look to and come to if they have questions. I'm not saying I know it all. I don't want to portray like I have this ultimate, like Nipsey Hussle said. I always refer to Nipsey Hussle because he was definitely a real individual. Even outside of just music, he was a very real individual. So like he said, I'm not gonna portray like I have this ultimate poise, like I have it all figured out. I just didn't quit. And that is the distinguishing factor between someone that's going to get it, or going through it, or is going to go through it. Just didn't quit. Just kept going. And that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to portray to be perfect. Like I have all the answers and I know everything. I don't. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. But I know enough to be able to reach my hand back and pull any amount of people up to get on the level that I'm on and get on the path that I'm on, and we get on this journey and continue to walk this journey together, okay? Whether it be a child, whether it be a teenager, someone in their early 20s, someone my age, even someone older that feels lost and they don't mind coming to a person that's could be 20, 30 years younger than them, 40 years younger, whatever. It don't matter. So I say all that to say, just if you're not connected to God, get connected and train up your kids the right way and introduce them to God while they're young, while they're still eager, while they are in that stage where they have a bunch of questions, and you may not know all of the answers, or your partner or your neighbor may not know all the answers. Get them in church. Get them in church. Let them get filled with that good word and those songs of praise and that Holy Spirit. Introduce them. But if you have any questions, if anybody has any questions, or just want to vent to me about something, anything, and if you want to get on this walk, this journey with me, then you come on. Anybody is welcome. I don't care. Okay, I'm all about bringing people together. I want to see people happy. I want to see people healthy, and not just healthy in the physical, but the spiritual too. Okay. Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up. I love y'all, but God definitely loves you more. And then, just as I said earlier, hit me up on every social media platform at Jamal Butler, JEMAHLBUTLER. Check me out. Holler at me. And hopefully you guys enjoy this episode and you take heed to my message. Train up a child. Okay? Train up a child. But in the meantime, do your thing. Be safe. Be happy. Be healthy. Pray. Have some self-control. Work out. Move your body. Drink your water. And yeah. And well, no, I got one more thing I should say. In terms of self-control, going back to the last episode that I uploaded, and I was talking about having control, like controller. That was the name of my episode. So if you have not listened to that, go back and listen to that. But in terms of that episode, control your energy. Don't let nobody else control it. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care who the person is. I don't care what relationship that you share with that person. Control your energy. All right? Don't let nobody else control it. And pray. All right? And I will see you guys on my next episode. Peace.